What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Root. So I'm going to review the debut album by English singer Natasha Bedingfield. Basically, this project is called Unwritten, and it came out in Europe in the summer of 2004, the late summer of 2004, and it came out in the United States in the mid-late summer of 2005 as far as this pitch going to happen. So basically, particular kind of notable pop album in terms of a vanilla type sense. Now, this album is mainly known for the title track Unwritten as far as this fair is going to happen. Kind of in minor senses, almost kind of pigeonholes Natasha Bedingfield and like a one-hit wonder within some of those particular type aspects, but she does have a lot more to offer on this particular album. A lot of these, it was just kind of haphazard with the pitch behind it. Just some of these notable type ones. When you think of like the fairs, there's other folks like, you know, when you think of like Since You've Been Gone by Kelly Clarkson, that's the big notable hit of hers. And I'm trying to think of some other folks like one of those type hits by like Clay Aiken or some of those type folks that kind of particularly had some of those type fares. But this one pitch, initially I was thinking this album was going to be a lot different. I thought it was going to be filled with songs like Unwritten, just kind of rewrites that particular song that just didn't chart as heavily. But this album has this particular album has like a neo pop and kind of dance heavy type aspect about it that's really awesome to kind of get here. Just some good aspects of like some contemporary and kind of rhythmic type tones about it that just have a lot of good fare and some step out that just works for like some grand kind of dance club kind of embrace and socialize as far as this pitch can have some good type fares for some of that, along with like some makeshift kind of weekday comedy similar to songs like Unwritten, but it never really quite full bound kind of clones that particular song. I would say the closest thing, and it does it in a pretty stylish sense, would be These Words. That's the second biggest song off this album, but within the pitch of these 1-2 punch as far as these fares going to happen, just kind of has the aspect. It's kind of within the same aspect. I think folks within a certain sense dislike the kind of lackadaisical frolic of Unwritten, but this album is actually more social than the aspect. This is the similar type fare that kind of happened with Carly Rae Jepsen, where she had like a makeshift kind of jingle and like the song Call Me Maybe, and I think folks just wanted more of like that typical kind of workaday type push about it, but this switches the tone to like a little bit more different, switches the tone to a little bit more rhythmicness is from the aspect behind that particular fare. So it's just from the pitch, but I would say within the pitch, I mean, the thing with Unwritten is just the fact that it is a classic kind of 2000s kind of everyday type song, but within the pitch behind it, I wonder how another song like that would have happened. I think it's just kind of, I don't know if it feels spur of the moment, but it just kind of feels like one of those type ones that just, it's such a big song that it just makes you question if another one like it probably would have. I think it would have been a nice treat to have gotten a second Unwritten, something like that, but I just question what that would have sounded like within the fair as far as being able to have that same particular fair, because it just, I don't know, it feels more like the hit appeal of that everyday type song is pretty similar to like that song by, I forget that chick that did that song that I reviewed her back in late 2023, the one that did A Million Miles. I guess I could look that up. Yeah, it's not called A Million Miles, it's called 1,000 Miles, but within the pitch, as far as this particular fair is going to happen, it was kind of difficult for Vanessa Carlton to establish like another hit within that particular kind of everyday fair. It's the same sort of trap that Natasha Bedingfield falls into, but I'm not natching this album whatsoever. This album's going to get a 10 out of 10, really out of the 14 songs on here, unlike the international edition that made a deluxe a little bit later. Out of the 14 songs, there's really only one I don't recommend, so it's good type pitch, it's excellent type pitch, 10 out of 10, so within the fair behind it. Now I'm reviewing the version of the album that has Bizarre of D12 on there. That's definitely some excellent type fare. The other version has Estelle, which is some pretty good pitches as well. Either way, I'd say that particular fare about it is a pretty good neo kind of R&B type song. But look, after there is a song that I'm not going to get to within some of these type pitches, which is The One That Got Away. I think that was a single by Natasha Bedingfield within those fares. I would like to review that particular fare. Maybe within a certain edition, I could do like a minor kind of bonus review, something like that, just to kind of get those two songs within a different format. But for the particular fare, the original edition of this album gets a 10 out of 10. But just be able to say, you know, there were 4 singles off this project. And basically, like I said, one of which, Unwritten, was the top 5 single on the Billboard 100, good type fare for that. These Words was like a top 20 single, and the other two just kind of charted here and there, maybe a little bit on like the pop charts, the exclusive pop charts, the rhythmic charts, some of those type fares, but they're all good songs in the pitch. I mean, I really feel like the song Single's a real excellent type fare. That's a good aspect to kind of kick off the album. Definitely has some social bite about it. So, talk about Single, it's like a jazzy kind of funkadelic night groove to kind of get here. Just a stylish kind of dance night, I'd say. Pretty swagged out within the pitch, and just some crunk time. This particular song is like some crunk times as far as this particular song is definitely like some crunk times as far as those pitch can happen. That's how you would say it, not just crunk times, but crunk times is just within the fair. Just kind of extra moments of just within the fair, just like that extra kind of stylish kind of bite within the flair behind it. So good type pitch, just a little bit more. It says a good step type vibe within the pitch. It's not quite, I mean, this is like a good foil to like the concept of Unwritten. If Unwritten's more Monday, Tuesday afternoon type music, this kind of between the fairs like 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock p.m. Just typical kind of August, September kind of summer evening or late day. I'd say singles is more of a pitch. It's just like the concept of just going out for like a fair. And this one has a little bit of bite, but this one is really probably something that you would have expected from someone like Usher or someone like, within someone like Usher or someone like Adam Lambert, some of those type pitches, and this is definitely a pretty neo type one to kind of get for 2004. Excellent type pitch because R&B and pop wasn't really doing its full bound like this, so this is kind of a trend setting type song with the pitch behind it. Not really a ton of pop type songs that had this social bite around this particular time for 2004. It's really excellent to get that, so real nice rhythmic one that hits real well. These Words is a nice one as well. Now this is an underappreciated type one. I definitely feel like for folks that may think that Natasha Bedingfield's like a one-hit wonder, this is one that has like a great 1-2 punch within the fair. It's the same sort of format. I'd probably say Unwritten once again would probably be more of like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock p.m. Just the relative wrap-up moments of work shift. I'd probably say These Words is like the relative leftovers to that, probably at like 5:36 p.m. the same day type pitch. Kind of a pitch of like a conduit to kind of get towards something of just pretty much done with like the work shift fair within the pitch behind him, but just figuring out as far as whether or not to settle in or figure out to go get lit, to figure out to go have some times in the pitch. So yeah, These Words like a neighborhood kind of fresh off work shift pep to kind of get here within some of those aspects. It's like the balm of this particular song, just a neo hop kind of day fair, I'd have to say. And that's kind of the concept. It just has a little bit more rhythmic type styles about it within the pitch. It's not just typical kind of makeshift, just like gonna go home, read a book. Gonna go home, read a cookbook, some of those particular type fairs. Not to say anything against cookbooks, but just on the page as far as saying just a little bit more within the pep of just like, yeah, just feeling jivey within some of those type aspects. Pretty much, once again, like 4:45, 5:45 type day fair. Just a good combo with Unwritten as far as those fairs can have. So just good type pitch for that same sort of pitch, same sort of day fair. I look after it. So I do feel like Natasha Bedingfield definitely followed up her hit singles. This kind of concept of this kind of progressing through the day as far as what's first going to happen. Just kind of amidst the pitch of having one for like kind of mid-late day to one kind of more early evening type fair within pitches. Just that same afternoon, just in the pitch of that, like that typical conduct of just going from like, typical work day to something of like, okay, what's the next move? Just look after it within the fair. It was a good type concept for some of these. Just typical kind of, I mean, these are more vanilla within a sense, but I do feel like the neo type flair of These Words kind of has this aspect about it. It's just kind of one of just like, it has a little bit more rhythm about it to get some jive going, so it's a good type pitch for that. And then I Bruise Easily is the fourth single. It's a nice one here. It's kind of more R&B bound within pitches like that. I like the tone of this particular one. Just the aspect behind it kind of feels more smoky within, since like a simmering kind of evening retired kind of get here. Just a rough day, I would feel like within the concept of it. Just in need of like party favors, something like that within the pitch. Definitely get like some Alizé, some of those type pitches. I'd say something like that. Good song to chillax to. Just some hangout type kickback with bells as far as this pitch can happen. Just more like more around the house neighborhood type fare within the pitch behind it. Kind of the aspect. This would be more R&B more so than pop, or kind of more dance club, kind of more electro and rave type stuff in the pitch, compared to like Single and These Words or the Makeshift of Unwritten. This is kind of more. This is a lot more of like an R&B type song, like 2000s type census within the pitch. So good type flair that Natasha Bedingfield can pull off R&B within the pitch. Good type flair for that. So yeah, I look after it here. Like I said, I recommend every song on here. It's the only song I don't recommend in terms like the 14 song UK edition that has like the 3 songs Size Matters, Piece of Me, and Sojourn on there, which Sojourn is a hidden track. I would say basically only song I don't recommend out of the 14 song edition that is also with Bizarro D12 is Size Matters. Just the pitch behind this is just kind of one that just kind of felt like not necessarily as full bound awkward, but just didn't really have as much composition within it. It was kind of like kind of felt like workaday kind of evening restaurant type. Kind of felt like workaday kind of evening restaurant type fare within the pitch, but just wasn't as jumping within the aspect. It kind of felt like evening kind of workaday restaurant type fare within the pitch behind it, but I feel like there's vibes that pull off that particular vibe a little bit better. Like I would definitely say that like Drop Me in the Middle is a little bit better vibe about that. It's just particularly more just more composed about it within the pitch behind it. Just kind of more of one that's just not as much jivier within the groove behind it, but it's just kind of the aspect that it just felt more in between, just without as much bite. But I look after, I mean, for the most part, this album is just a social delight as far as those pitches can happen. Just all of this particularly has like some good aspects here. Just, I would say within the composition, it's not so much that Size Matters is a bad song, it's just the ofteness, like the concept. It just is kind of more formal within the pitch, just in the tone, as far as just kind of a more, kind of like the makeshift kind of workaday type appeal of Unwritten, just with a little bit more social jive. Same sort of formal type sense as Unwritten or some of those type ones, but just the aspect's a little bit more, just amidst like kind of 6 o'clock p.m. type fare within the pitch. It's kind of something that's just like the song Drop Me in the Middle, just without like the rhythm about it. So it's just kind of the pitch behind, but it's not as much, but within the tone there. So this album gets a 10 out of 10 just within the fare. So I recommend all the songs on here. Just go down the list of these, or virtually all the songs. So Sojourn, the bonus song, is a nice one here. It's like an evening dredge and like a good peace of mind. Just some after moments for that. Good song to bass to, pitches like that. Just kind of grab a bite. Good song to grab a bite to, just within some in-between type moments. It's kind of a peppy type get up. Now, paying attention to the lyrics of this song, Natasha Bedingfield, in her opinion, paying attention to the lyrics of the song, Natasha Bedingfield has the composition of this song being more morning based. It's kind of an acoustic type song within the pitch, but the typical type format when you listen to alternative rock, that sort of dredge that you get with some of those type songs, like, you know, Sex and Candy, some of those type ones, and like, you know, songs by like Tonic, I forget, like, how, you know, songs by like some of those type folks, like How's It Gonna Be, and like, I forget, by folks like Third Eye Blind, like How's It Gonna Be, some of those type pitches. I mean, just typically that kind of acoustic kind of just dredge like that. I feel like the song Sojourn just has more similar type moments to songs like How's It Gonna Be and Sex and Candy and some of those type ones, and If You Could Only See by like Tonic, some of those particular type folks that just feel more rooted in like the 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock p.m. type dredge within it. It's this kind of concept. I mean, I look after it, it does have that same makeshift type fare, something like Unwritten, that same sort of vanilla. I mean, this album switches between like pop and kind of more aspects of more jive within it, but it's this kind of concept as far as saying that this album has like a mixture of like makeshift and kind of, this album has like a good mixture of like makeshift and rhythmic as far as what's first going to happen, but I look after, this particular album has a good mixture of rhythmic and then like makeshift as far as what's first going to happen. But I definitely say, I mean, I think the aspect behind this song is just like a sunshiny kind of get up and go as far as this pitch going to happen, like The World Is Yours, some of those type pitches with an aspect. It is something that is like really super vanilla, kind of tapioca, kind of vanilla pop within the pitch, just like, hey, sunshine, it's a good morning, some of those type pitches behind it. But I don't know, I just look after, I see it a lot more in like the evening type fare within the pitch behind it. It's just kind of concept for that. But I would look after just within the after moments, so just a good type song to unwind, pitches like that, go grab like a quick snack, go to Sonic, some of those type pitches, just get some of that particular type fare. I mean, I will say that the song is definitely pretty peppy. It just kind of has the get up about it, but it's just kind of the pitch as far as saying, just questioning where you need that particular get up as far as what's first going to happen, whether it is something, you know, trying to listen to 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning as far as those fares going to happen. When she says too early in the morning for this sort of concept, it's just within the pitch as far as saying, I would say it has morning pep about it, but I would definitely recommend it for like evening type dredge, or just like the concept of just like some good relief after like a good after moments, of just like some peace to kind of have after like things are done as far as this pitch can happen. This feels like more of like an embrace for like the welcome after getting things done, more so than the spark of, you know, giving you the courage to get through it. This is how I would look after it. So it's just kind of, it's more like the song has the seeming, I would listen to this song more after the finish line more so than before the finish line. That's just kind of the pitch behind it. So that's how I would look after it there. But I look after here, so like Silent Movies, a nice one. It's like a sluggish day afterthought, I'd have to say, within some of these type pitches. Just a dredgy day. It's like a Silent Movies, like a Silent Movies, like a sluggish day kind of afterthought, I'd have to say here. Just a dredgy day, kind of contemplative type kind of like a dredgy day, kind of contemplative type song within the pitch. Very different for Natasha Bedingfield, and it's like a surprising kind of moodiness about this particular song. So it goes pretty well with Sojourn, even though Sojourn has a little bit more pep towards it. This is a particular song that just kind of has the aspect of just something that feels like something more, trying to think, that feels more of like post-grunge within a pitch like that. Just kind of someone like, I don't know if it'd be someone like Deuce, despite the fact that Deuce wasn't around back in 2004. Just kind of a good taste of something that was kind of, I can't really think of like mid-2000s, like 2004, 2005 kind of emo type folk within the pitch behind it. Maybe something similar to like Green Day on like American Idiot, some of those type fares, but this album even came out before that particular album. So it's just within the pitch, kind of a trendy type one with a particular fare, like emo typeness, or just a relative kind of post-grunge, just anguish as far as this was going to have a good type tone. The Bizarre D12 song Drop Me in the Middle is a real nice one. This like amidst like the bright city lights kind of restaurant scene, I'd have to say here. Good concept for some of that. Just like some date night unwinds kind of get to as far as this pitch can have. So just kind of the aspect. This is like the song. I feel like this is a good 1-2 punch with Size Matters. I feel like this, the fact that Drop Me in the Middle is just a lot more rhythmic. This has a little bit more bite towards as far as aspects can go. But I think it's just the same conic like those date evenings pitches like that. It's good songs between like probably 5:30, about 7:15, 7:45, some of those type fares within the pitch behind. behind this typical kind of night scene just within the pitch. I mean, it's just the composition. Some of these are kind of rhythmic within a sense, but not all of them are stacked for like the dance club. So it's just a good type moment as far as saying that some of these type pitches here just kind of have the composition of being like this a part of the night scene, but not every single one having like the dance step kind of noise. It's kind of more just having multiple things within the night, as far as starting off at like dance clubs, or starting off like restaurant, then going to like some sort of like art show or something like that. Just within pitch, it's just kind of the composition and further type things within the aspect kind of about it, but it just kind of goes along with some of that. Some good type ones for like a dance club type sense would be I'm a Bomb. I'm a Bomb goes great with single. I'd say it's like an out in the night scene kind of crunk flip to kind of get here. Just good concept, just kind of a good flip mode, or just like the embrace this some good times after like. It's real good cut loose as far as this pitch kind of having this great dance club noise that I had to say here, just some outing kind of hangouts within the pitch. So just kind of social commerce for you and your pals, pitches like that. Just kind of typical type fare, just like powwow type stuff, just more out at a venue pitch like that. It's you and pals, just within some of those type aspects, just kind of get some drinks in your system, some of those particular type fares. So it's a good type conduct to some of that particular type fare. Once again, this is some good type fare for a 2000s album, especially for 2004, before there were a ton of albums really as full bound like this. So it's good type composition. Like, if you're going to jump to another nice one within some of those aspects, further type ones, single, I'm a Bomb, These Words, if you're going to jump, drop me in the middle. All these particular ones have some real good jive about them, but this is a particular electro type one. It's like some electro snares here, just a dope kind of stock dance flavor to kind of get. This Weekend Embrace, definitely a good song to politic too. So yeah, Natasha Bedingfield definitely has some. Yeah, I would definitely say don't fall for the trap of thinking Natasha Bedingfield is kind of a square, because it's not the aspect on here as far as this pitch can happen. Not to say square like she was if she did put out more songs like Unwritten, but it's just kind of the concept that this is kind of the pitch. Very similar to like Carly Rae Jepsen. It's just on the format. You pay attention to like the singles here and you think, oh, she's going to be very like, kind of just a paint, someone who seems more artsy and museum-like, not to say anything against those folk. You'd think folks like Natasha Bedingfield and Carly Rae Jepsen are going to be more artsy and museum-like, not to slash those particular folks, but it's just a good concept here, getting like a different side of the coin as far as these pitches can happen just with having that particular fare. So good, really has the concept behind it. Unwritten's an excellent song, singles an excellent song, some of these type pitches, both sides of the coin just being multifaceted within the pitch behind it, so it nails those particular vibes. I would say We're All Mad in Our Way is a nice one, as well as like a drudgy kind of evening pop makeshift slime kind of get here to some good 6 p.m. kind of haze. Nice country fries as far as this pitch can happen. This feels like something Taylor Swift would have done, but once again, this is before even Taylor Swift was out, so it's a good type pitch for some of that particular type fare to something ripped out of like mid 2000s, late 2000s country type radio as far as this pitch can happen. Just has like some rhythmic country type fare, just tailgate and bonfire type music within the pitch behind it. Just kind of smoky evenings, great for like October, November, good type pitch for that. There's not a ton of songs like this on here, but it is one good, at least good taste of that, some of that particular type fare, the versatility. Piece of Me is a quality one. It's like just like a clear cut kind of moments that I'd say, just night shift commerce I have to say here, just feeling good, definitely. Piece of Me is like a real quality one. It's like clear cut moments I'd have to say within these aspects. This night shift commerce I'd have to say here, just feeling good, kind of autopilot, kind of task wrap up as far as this pitch can happen. So just within the fare, this piano type fare within it's just kind of a liberated type one within the fare. Very similar to Wild Horses, just a little bit more in like a more jovial type mood, and just kind of the liberation, just like this some good ambient type moments, just in the concept of more makeshift type pitches within a night shift type era. So this, whether or not it is having work shift at like 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock p.m., just within the aspect behind it, it's just kind of the concept of being outlaid within some of those particular type fares, but just kind of the commerce of just like moments of just kind of just in such a good mood that things are kind of on autopilot just because you're caught up just within the drear of just like rumination as far as this pitch counts. So just kind of the pitch behind it is good type one for just good productive kind of day fair vibes within the pitch behind it. So just good going. It's just the opposite of kind of like a bad hair day I'd have to say within the pitch. Just kind of the concept of like like when you think of a typical kind of yucko kind of just bad hair day, some of those type pitches, kind of the opposite of just like things kind of having a good aspect of just kind of the concept. Normally when you think of like the more good day type songs, it's just more of like a rhythm towards it, just going to like a dance club, having some good times. It's kind of the aspect of just like those type formats, but it's just kind of the concept that's like a good type song in a good mood, but not necessarily like something recreational. So it's a good type pitch for that. I like the tone. Wild Horses is a nice one. It's like a rainy day makeshift comedy you kind of get here. Good ballad for that. Just typical kind of drew about this one. Just everyday kind of weekday drive as far as this pitch kind of. This is a more typical type one. Probably goes within the same type punch of like songs like These Words and Unwritten. Some of those type ones that I'd say to a certain extent kind of silent movies. Some of those type pitches behind it. Just kind of more vanilla pop within the pitch behind it, but just nails the aspect. Just good type tone for some of that. Just kind of just ruminate within the aspect, just kind of social rumination, but just kind of social about it within, not necessarily social with a bunch of folks, but just kind of constant, just not at the house, just within the pitch. So within pitches like that, amidst like the commerce, a good type fare, just nice ballad kind of get here. This probably could have almost been a single within the pitch behind, a little bit moody. Would have been a good emo kind of ballad choice. And then Frogs and Princes is a nice one. This has like some good type rhythmic. Frogs and Princes has some good type jive about it. It's like a go-go kind of dance venue, white noise ambience kind of get here. Just some chit chat and kind of snackage type songs within the pitch behind. A good song to get tipsy to. So this is kind of the format. It's kind of in between type modes, not full bound, kind of amidst the dance floor, like I would say, like songs like Single and I'm a Bomb, and If You're Gonna Jump, some of those type pitches, but just kind of amidst the product of like just more fly on the wall type stuff within the pitch behind. Just kind of amidst like the noise of just out and about, but just not as full bound ferocious about it. Just kind of more of like a gab type song within pitch, but just has the aspect, definitely get some food in your system, drinks in your system, some of those particular type fares. It's kind of a good pitch, just good kind of date evening type song within the fare behind it. So good type concept for that. And good type pitch for that. So I'd look after here. So every one of these songs, damn near, I recommend it. So 10 out of 10 within the pitch behind it. So just would have to say the social score, I'll probably give like a. It's a little bit tricky. I think I'll give the social score like a 9.75 just within the pitch, because I look after here. I feel like the concept behind it is still within the affluence. I'd have to say whether or not Natasha Bedingfield gets much of a chance past Unwritten. Just the format of most folks kind of thinking that that's like her biggest song, and she needs like 20 more songs like that, some of those type pitches. But she did actually do that. It just did not have like the carbon copy kind of format to that particular song. I do feel like These Words is a good combo with that. Kind of within the pitch again. In further type ones, there are some other makeshift songs on here like Wild Horses, Piece of Me, Silent Movie, some of those type ones, Sojourn, some of those type ones, and it kind of flips the switch with other type rhythmic type songs like Frogs and Princes, Drop Me in the Middle, I'm a Bomb, If You're Gonna Jump, some of these type pitches. So just real social type fare. I mean, this would get a 10 out of 10 if it would have had a few more hits in terms of like the concept of more appeal that she could have been delivered. It's more, I don't want to say it's the crowd, the social, I don't want to say it's like the casual folks' fault, but it's just kind of within the pitch that this is a better album than what's typically given credit for. Us is kind of the pitch as far as those first can happen. So just the impact of it, it deserves a 10, but it just did not get enough notoriety like the aspect kind of behind it. So it's just when the fair is just saying it's worth it. The restaurant type moments, the club and dance club type moments, the jive, some of those step out, the go-go type moments, the makeshift kind of car dredge and makeshift kind of push like a day fair pitches like that. This really has some good excellent aspects. That's the tone. But in terms of the future, not really as full bound sure when the last time Natasha Bedingfield dropped an album. I need to figure out some more of her projects that she's done. I know she at least had like maybe an album called Pocket Full of Sunshine, some of those type pitches. I know she was at least there in the 2000s, maybe like the occasional album in the 2010s. It makes me question what she did in the 2020s just from the pitch behind. She has been at Coachella and pitches like that, but I just question some of these type fairs. But I just look after it. So classic album here within the impact, very vanilla, very banner kind of 2000s kind of pop album that was kind of trendsetting and had a lot of good aspects about it that just has some context before certain things kind of happen, like Taylor Swift or Deuce or things like that. Some of those particular type fairs, emo songs and country songs, pitches like that, some of these type aspects and rhythmic kind of songs before R&B was really doing it much past Usher and maybe Beyonce, I'd say. So good, excellent type fair. So within fairs like that, folks, I forgot to talk about the hit single by Natasha Bedingfield, Unwritten, back when I did this review in April 2025. So within the fair, this review is going to surface in December 2025, but particularly I'm editing this particular review to get it with the composition of the rest of it in late November 2025. So pitches like that, some excellent type ordeals. But Unwritten's obviously a capital type song from Natasha Bedingfield, pitches like that. It's a commonplace staple, one of her largest songs, pitches like that. Has over 1 billion plays on Spotify, gets consistent airplay. Some of these type of appeals, good pitches like that. But yeah, to talk about Unwritten here, it's like a classic 2000s kind of day stretch to kind of get, day stretch frolic, I would definitely say here. Just a vanilla kind of radio jingle, I'd say. Just some makeshift usuals, I'd say. Great song to vibe to. So just kind of within the pitches for us, and it's that tradition, just like a typical kind of Monday, Tuesday, just post-hour type product. Not so much post-hour like 6:37, but more miss the pitch of just like day dredge of it being kind of like the entry kind of initial aspect of just like the sauntering into like some joyriding kind of galvant type product, to just something for like a light kind of spring, summer, autumn type frolic pitches like that. Dismiss the ordeal like some day fair, good excellent products for those pitch camps. So just kind of the fair tradition of some of these type ones, like particularly about what was said with the review back in April 2025 with like particularly Vanessa Carlton and folks like that. Just some of those type pitches. Pretty much, these are the sorts of songs, just that kind of sedate, this kind of tranquil type frolic of some of these type ones, this capital type appeal. And I think that's the commonplace of what was so catchy about this song, Unwritten, within those fairs. It just takes you back to a lazy kind of lemonade and grilled cheese kind of Tuesday songs type aspects, just went on this parkside type fair pitches like that. Just missed the aspect, just kind of for more starless chicas, kind of more sundress bonnet type music. Not so much full bound bonnet as if it's like, apple pie and complete, 1800s type frolic pitch like that. But it's within the ordeal, like some good sunlight type ordeals, good pitch like that. But excellent type of feel, capital type song, good staple for Natasha Bedingfield. But just to say once again within these fairs about it, These Words is a pretty good 1-2 punch within that particular fair that goes along with that song that shovels her out of that particular one-hit wonder type of appeal. At least the complex of thinking that she does not have more to offer. So it's good pitches like that. But the rest of the sound's pretty blistering as well as some good excellent aspects of mixing like some night fair and kind of restaurant type scene, evening type scene surfings with good products like the makeshift and other type fairs within it. So plenty of good type common fare within the commute of it, good pitches like that.